So hello. What is your name and what is your position?
It's Arnulfo Hernandez, Jr. I'm an attorney at law. I have a small private practice. I'm a member of La Raza Lawyers Association in Sacramento, and also the American GI Forum of California Civil Rights Officer.
Very interesting. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about the significance of your work and about your presentation today?
Well, my presentation this afternoon is going to be on the role of the Mexican American community in the desegregation of the public schools. Not many folks really know that it was the Mexican American community that led the fight in desegregation of the public schools. In 1931 was the first successful case here, and we're going to discuss it today. In 1946 was the first federal district court, Hernandez versus Westminster. California became the first state of the union to actually desegregate completely because of Mendez. 8 years before versus Brown versus Board of Education. And so when we celebrate Brown versus Board of Education, we should. It did away with Plessy versus Ferguson, the so-called separate but equal. On the Brown, separate is inherently unequal. But there had to be foundations upon that was done. And Mendez was one, and so was the Lemon Grove incident back in San Diego in 1931. And today, my talk earlier today was the move in El Paso to remove the school board trustees, 5 of which are Mexican American and 2 are Anglo. The first time El Paso has ever had a supermajority of minorities on the board. And so I'm working with some groups back there to prevent that from occurring.
So, what got you into this field? What is it that built up your passion for fighting for people's rights and for letting people know about all these things that are going on?
Well, there's several reasons. First of all, I'm an English learner myself. I was 9 years old when I was brought to this country. Luckily, I was double promoted twice, first to third and then 7th to the 9th grade. But I know the struggles of an English learner, and that plays a great big part. Secondly, it was the teachers that I best remember who were my role models, who were my mentors, who were sometimes my surrogate parents, those who inspired me and made me believe that I could do something beyond just work in the fields of El Paso and the cotton fields. So there's a lot of payback in what I do. I'm trying to pay back to those that have now gone to heaven. And so the best way to do that is do it in kind. Do the same thing they did for me.
And speak out and represent, right?
Absolutely.
Speak
yes.
out and represent. So now talking a little bit more about CABE. How would you describe CABE at the annual conference?
Well, I think CABE is a great place where all of these teachers, administrators, parents, and other stakeholders can get together and discuss these issues that impact our community. Remember, the Mexican American and other Latino population in California is just huge, absolutely huge. But then so are the dropout rates. How do we engage our kids so that that does not happen? In my own small way, I think these courses of bringing this information to them should inspire these kids that we have played a great positive role in this country of ours.
And they should know it.
And they should know that. Veterans being one. We were the most highly decorated ethnic group in World War II in Korea with 70 Congressional Medal of Honor. And our kids don't know that, and
I
they
didn't
should.
know that.
Well,
Goes to show.
And the Mexican American Studies that Arizona banned is coming back. Judge's rule on the 6th of February. That program is coming back because it's relevant. These culturally relevant courses are important to the development of our kids. That self-esteem that I come from a community that is rich in being involved in our country and making it as great as it is.
And that leads us to be more productive citizens and educate each other and be united and proud of who we are and educate and share that knowledge with each other, right?
And that we can take a place in this country as all other Americans.
Yeah.
And that we ought to become part of the agenda at the national level. If you look now, whether it's ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, all of those programs, there is no Mexican American on any of those programs. And the question is why? When you speak about immigration, where are these folks from our community that can address these issues? When you speak about the English learners, when you speak about the dreamer kids, where are our voices? We're the largest group and we're ignored. Absolutely. And the only way for us to become part of that is to inject ourselves into it. And how you do it? CABE is doing it here by holding an annual conference and bringing these people that can bring these subjects to the teachers who, via the diaspora of them throughout the state, they bring this to the kids in class, where they are captive audience for the teachers. So I'm great that, I love it when I see, especially these younger folks, the young kids. Well, I'd give my right and left arm to be as young as they are again, but that's life.
But you pass on that knowledge, and I think that's what matters, and getting ourselves out there and putting our face out there and showing that we matter. Just like you said, we need to inject ourselves.
Yes, we need to and become part of it, and do it in such a way that we say, we have a right to do that. I am a stakeholder. I am an American. I come from a group that is second to none into how American we are. Love of country, and being able to provide positive contributions to this country of ours. We have bled. We have given our lives on the field for this country, and that ought to be recognized.
Well, thank you so much for that, and I really appreciate your time. And
Okay,
I learned a lot from talking to you right now. Okay, we're done. That was interesting.